reading for, is that right? I guess it is, yeah. Welcome to the reading for Sunday, the 21st of December, 2025. If you've been shopping out there, you know it's busy. Actually, it was kind of strange. It was really busy in some parts and pretty quiet in others. And it was not as busy as I expected, to be honest with you. And I only went out to help a friend of mine, actually. So anyway, there we are. Of course, came back with a few things, but that's always the case, right? Anyway, on to today's reading, which is, hold on a second. I can pull it up. Yeah, Rev Michael Gott, he's called this, I'm Ready for My Change. And of course, he's not talking about money here. The greatest discovery of all time is that a person can change the future by merely changing their attitude. And that's Oprah Winfrey. She and Earl Nightingale actually paraphrased something that was originally spoken by William James, a great American, pioneering American psychologist and philosopher in the 19th century. And he actually said, the greatest discovery of my generation is that a human being can alter their life by altering their attitudes of mind. So take whichever you want. The greatest discovery of all time is that a person can change the future by merely changing their attitude. So Oprah Winfrey, or you can have the original from William James, or you can also go to Earl Nightingale and look him up. Point is that we have within us the capacity to change our lives by changing, in effect, our belief system, right? By changing our belief system. And this goes along with a quote from A New Design for Living by Ernest Holmes and Willis Kinnear. I know that the answer is here and now. It's within my own mind because God is right where I am. I'm an expression of God. I use the energy from the divine that flows through me. How do I do it? By changing the way I think and feel. And he goes on to talk about psychologist Nevitt Stanford, who apparently developed a theory of growth that's widely used in the field of education. And this theory says that students need challenges to grow, but the challenges must be balanced with support. Too much or too little of either will limit a student's ability to learn and to integrate. Later in his career, he added a third component that he discovered was necessary for growth: readiness. And this is back to Rev Michael Gott. He says, this feels true for me, and it's borne out in my own growth journey. It has almost always been a challenge that called me to my growth. And I've been blessed to have found the right support over the years in coaches, mentors, ministers, and therapists, not to mention a slew of compassionate and wise friends. But there have been times when I was presented an opportunity to grow, but I just wasn't ready. Maybe I was just too overloaded and overwhelmed in that moment. I've learned to trust my soul's timing. It seems to me that I'll continue to have to work on things, even if I live to be 120. In our healing journey, can we allow ourselves to be gentle and compassionate with ourselves? He says, as New Thought balladeer, I don't know if that's a real word, is it? Balladeer Karen Drucker, she's actually a very well-known New Thought writer of music and also performer of music, who says, and I will only go as fast as the slowest parts of me feel safe to go. He says, if we remain committed to our growth, we will grow, but we cannot do all of the inner work at the same time. Slow down, breathe, rest, trust yourself on this journey. You know, I remember years ago, if I can get back to, here we are. I remember years ago when I was working in Saudi Arabia, and I was asked to go to the Netherlands to actually take over from the guy who was running the contract procurement division for Aramco. And the guy was supposed to go on vacation for, I think it was a month. And he ended up going for 2 months. But when I got there, the handover period was like a few hours. And I was thrown into this brand new job with virtually no explanation. And I had to wade my way through. Well, fortunately, as it turned out, I was up to the task and I was up to the challenge, because about 2.5 years later, this guy decided he needed to go back to the States to be near his aging parents, and I got the job. But I'll tell you, it was a hard growth experience, because I ended up having to do his job and a job with the project team. So that's one of the times I remember. Lots of others, but that was one of them. So I just thought I'd give you an example from my own life of how that worked. Not necessarily a spiritual journey, but a challenge that I had to face and overcome. So there you are. Hey, you've got a whole bunch of affirmations to choose from here. I trust divine timing moving through my life today. I trust divine timing moving through my life today. That's one. I intuitively know what to do and how to do it. I intuitively know what to do and how to do it. That is a good one, because it really can have a big impact on the way that you actually view what you have to do. I know when to stop doing and allow everything to be as it is. I know when to stop doing and allow everything to be as it is. And then I'm guided by spirit. I am guided by spirit. Yeah, that one. I know when to stop doing and allow everything to be as it is a good one, because I remember in a lecture not a lecture, there was a gathering of people who were instructors, and I was one of them, and we were discussing stuff. And one lady said, it's about time that we realize that, as well as human, that oftentimes in this culture we're human doings, we need to get back to realize that we're also human beings. We need to be as well as to do. Well, that was pretty good. Please look out for the wonderful Reverend Lisa tomorrow on Creative Life Spiritual Center's Facebook page at 9:15 Central. Look out for me on whatever social media you see me. And I do believe Facebook keeps these recordings now for 30 days. They used to keep them forever, but now they only keep them for 30 days. So there you are. That's life as it comes along. So I am going to get back to the rest of my day here. And I hope everyone's having a good day. My prayer for everyone is that you slow down and take a breath and just allow yourself simply to be sometime each day, especially during this holiday period. Take a break from everyone and everything for a few minutes and just be. And I'm knowing that this is the truth for everyone. And I call this good and done. With gratitude, I release it and say, so it is. And I will see you next time.